Hey guys, this is Richie from RW Hobbies. Today I'm going to do a slightly different video. I'm actually going to do a video based upon my personal collection. Now, what I've basically done is I've taken my top 5 of my collection, which is pretty tough because I have about almost 200 in my collection. Been collecting for several years. This is a 1 to 400 diecast models. A mixture, mostly predominantly GeminiJets, but there are some Phoenix, some JC Wings, and some other stuff in there too. So basically, yeah, people may not know, but I am a private collector myself. I do collect model planes. I really been doing that before I started my business. I found when I was collecting, there was I found an issue like finding good retailers. There weren't many around. The prices were high, and then some had really bad customer service and actually rude. So I thought, you know what, I'll help the collecting community, and I'll set up a website and sell some models, at really good prices. And try to answer your emails and phone calls as expeditiously as I could. So that's really how it all started. So I've been doing it for several years, rwhobbies.com, and one thing I do pride myself on is not in the pricing but shipping. I do offer free shipping for orders over $99, and I do have fair shipping rates too. You can see actual tables on there. I do charge like accurate rates, USPS, UPS, FedEx rates. One thing I did find when I was before I had a website and I was a collector, but I'll go to some sites that had really low pricing, and I thought, oh great. But then when I go to the cart and check out, they charge me like $11 shipping on like a 9-ounce item, which USPS charges like $5.95 to ship. So that was kind of that's something I was disappointed in too. So anyway, so moving on, I'm kind of waffling now, but moving on to my top 5. So really I selected these. Not only do I like the model, but a lot of these took a long time to find. So I'll talk through each of them as I go. Move these out of the way. So the first one is, and this is no particular order, the GeminiJets KLM F-70. Now, this was really hard to find, and I bought it on the second-hand market, and I probably spent more on this model than any other model in my collection. I had to pay a lot of money to get it, but at the time, I've had this probably about 2 or 3 years. I really wanted it, and I found on eBay, these things only came up about once every 6 months or so. It was really hard to find one in the box. So this is one of my first one on top 5. So let me open it up and you can take a look at it. It's super tiny, so it's kind of hard to focus. There it is. I kind of like this model too because way back in the day when I was like 16 years old, I worked at Leeds Bradford Airport. Before I used to live in the obviously UK before I moved to the US. Now the Fokker 70 used to come in every day, 3 or 4 times a day, and do the Leeds to Amsterdam route. So that's kind of one of the reasons I really like this one too. So okay, so that's number 1. Put him down there. Now number 2. This is the AeroClassics Britiannia 767. Now, this is kind of nostalgic for me. I used to fly in a lot of Britannia when I was a child. We used to go to Spain a lot on charter flights, mostly 757s, but there is no Britannia 757 out. Every single month I look in anticipation for the release, and it never comes up. So this another one was super hard to find. I actually believe I got this one from somebody in Canada, and I literally had to check eBay several times a day, every single day for probably 8 months until I found one. A couple did come up, but stupid pricing. So this one was actually, well, it's very expensive, but it wasn't crazy. So let me pull this one out. So here's in the classic Britannia from about, I'd say probably about early 90s. Color scheme 767. It's actually weighs really heavy too. So again, okay, so this is the second one. Okay, put him next to the KLM. Okay, my third one. Really, this is a strange one. I really selected this one because I really like the color scheme. Again, I found this is a really hard one to find on the secondhand market. I missed it when it was first released. But this is a China Southern Dreamliner 787. I just really like this livery. So let me open it. So this is, again, this makes my top 5. And I actually randomly came across this aircraft actually in real life. I was on a business trip in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and I exited San Francisco airport in my rental car. I drove down the highway by the runway, by the airport, and lo and behold, this aircraft was actually on the one of the outlying stands in the airport. So I actually saw this in real life. So this is the China Southern in the this is a special livery. I can't recall exactly what it's called, but okay, put him there. Now, the next one is, now this one's like hen's teeth. This was real hard to find. This is my United 777-200 in the new livery. Now, I have it in the tulip, the older kind of color scheme too, but in this one, it was like literally so hard to find. This is another one where I had to literally troll online every day, probably for about 6 to 9 months, to actually find one. And you know, I'm so lucky to have one. This is one of my holy grails. So I actually have traveled on this in person myself. Several flights, I think, from LAX to UK, and also I think I've flown up from Washington Dulles to Switzerland as well. So GeminiJets, Boeing 777-200. Let me open him up real quick. Now, this is a pretty kind of common aircraft, so I'm kind of really surprised it's so hard to find. You'd think GeminiJets would release this, but you know, they haven't really brought that one out. So I know plenty of these are in demand. I don't know why it's so hard to find, but anyway, there it is. I think just the challenge of finding these, I think the more difficult they are to find when you do get into your collection, it just makes them so much more special. There you go. So add him right there. Okay, then lastly, my last one. Again, this is another one I missed when it first came out, and as you know, with some of these wonderful 100 scale, if you don't catch them right away, they usually sell out, and being limited edition, you can never find them again. So this one took me some finding too, but here it is. This is the Air New Zealand All Blacks livery, and it's the 777-300, and this is Phoenix. Phoenix do a really nice mold with the 777. Put this down real quick. I just like this. It's really striking. There's not many black aircraft out there, and you know, it's a really nice aircraft. And 777-300 is actually probably my favorite airliner type. So here it is. So it's, as with all Phoenix models, they have great landing gear, especially in the 1:400 scale. They're not kind of chunky like some of the other stuff. So there it is. So down there. So yeah. So this is my top 5. You know, no particular order. It'd be really hard to find the top to put them in order of 1 to 5. But there you go. So it's really tough to find these. I do have others in my collection I really like as well. Honorable mentions probably the KLM MD-11. The last flight one wasn't. You know, I really like that one too. And also some British Airways stuff. So here it is. So here's my top 5 of my collection. Any questions or comments, please post them. And yeah, www.rwhobbies.com if you need anything. Thank you and goodbye.